Hello, everyone. I'm Wayne, and welcome to Goals by the Numbers. If you're passionate about football, that's always a positive. If you like to view things through a statistical lens, that's also a positive. And if you like to get in the comments and have back and forth conversations about your points of view, then you've come to the absolute right place. So today we'll take a look at the upcoming FIFA Club World Cup with a simple walkthrough on its history and some of the unique facets of the competition. So, you know what? Let's just get straight into it. So, what is the FIFA Club World Cup? Well, to put it simply, imagine the World Cup, but instead of countries, it's the clubs from those countries. There will be 32 teams competing from the various footballing federations to declare themselves the best club in world football. Um, this year's iteration of the Club World Cup will be held in the United States, and the final will be in the MetLife Stadium, which is located in New York and has a capacity of 82,500. Yeah, first number for you. The 32 teams are not split evenly between each federation, so the split is as follows: 2 teams from Africa, 4 teams from Asia, 12 teams from Europe, 4 teams from North and Central America. This also includes the Caribbean, though none of those teams were qualified. 1 team from Oceania, 6 from South America, and 1 from the host country, which in this case is the United States of America. This year's tournament has already had one issue, with Club Leon being removed due to third-party ownership and replaced by LAFC, who've literally just won a playoff match against Club America. So how did the tournament come about? The first tournament was in 1887, when the tournament was called the Football World Championship and was played between Aston Villa, who won the FA Cup, and Hibernian, who won the Scottish Cup. Having had a look online, the match in 1985, Sunderland beat Hearts of Hearts of Midlothian, though Sunderland's entire team was made up of Scottish players. Okay, fair enough. I guess it's close to the border, so why not? The idea of making the tournament global wasn't until the 1950s when Brazil created a tournament that wasn't recognized by the rest of the other footballing federations. Jules Rimet, who was not only in charge of FIFA at the time, but had the World Cup trophy named after him, eventually came round to the idea and tasked FIFA with helping bring European teams to Brazil to participate. To move forward, in the 2000s, the Intercontinental Cup, as it was known then, was dropped, and we had the first years of the Club World Cup in its modern guise. Following this, in December 2022, FIFA announced that they were expanding the tournament to 32 teams, and this summer will be the first time we see the new format in action. Hopefully, the games are really good. To ensure that teams will take the tournament seriously, the prize money for the tournament is, well, from what I've seen and read online, there are reports that the prize money will total $1 billion USD, with the winner taking 100 million USD outright, putting it in line with the amounts of money earned in the Champions League. Great work if you can get it. Historically, who has done well in this tournament? Since the year 2000, Brazilian clubs with 10 final appearances, 4 being wins, and Spanish clubs with 9 final appearances, 8 of those being wins, are the 2 most successful countries. Behind them, there is England with 6 final appearances, 4 being wins, and Argentina with 4 final appearances that all ended in defeat. There are some similar nations, or some smaller nations rather, that have also had representation in the final, those being DR Congo and Saudi Arabia. Nice to know which countries have done well, but this is a club tournament, so what about the actual clubs? 4 teams have won the competition, on more than one occasion, those teams being Bayern Munich, Corinthians, Barcelona, and Real Madrid, who lead the others with 5 wins. The current champions are Manchester City, who won the tournament in 2023 after just playing 2 matches. So it's going to be much more work for them this time around. But to win this Sunderland's tournament, they, as will all others, will need to get through 7 matches. And that makes me think, what about the players' contracts that expire in June, or players that are returning from loan deals? So, the tournament will take place from the 14th of June to the 13th of July 2025. And multiple players will have their contracts expire on June the 30th, which is right in the middle of the tournament. That throws up that throws up several scenarios, such as, will Kevin De Bruyne only play half of the tournament if Real Madrid were to sign Alexander-Arnold, he'll only be able to play the second half of the tournament? And Cristiano Ronaldo, whose deal expires this summer, could he sign a short-term deal to enable him to play at any club? Well, De Bruyne is leaving Manchester City, so that seems to be quite an easy way to cover that. And Trent Alexander-Arnold has cost Real Madrid 10 million euros so that he can join and play the tournament early. So 10 million euros while joining on a free on a Bosman. I suppose if you earn 10 million from the tournament, it kind of pays for itself, but fair enough. Currently, it looks like FIFA have taken a step back and left it up to the clubs and the players to work out, but they have included a special transfer window with an additional one where other players can be registered. It should also be noted that a player who is unable to represent 2 teams at the same tournament. The first window was opened on June the 1st, just a few days before the tournament actually starts, and then crucially, another 2 players can be added between June 27 and July the 3rd. Because we have this extra transfer window, it had to be agreed with all of the FAs that each club was registered with. But it's not just a case of Manchester City and Chelsea are able to register players. Everybody in England is now able to register players between those windows. So players could now sign for clubs early. But with PSR, player amortization, they all might just wait to July the 1st. I'm pretty sure it's July the 1st, when the new when the new accounting period begins, and they can register players against the different financial year. But with the contracts, could you imagine a scenario where Ronaldo and Trent Alexander-Arnold sign 2-week contracts with Auckland FC and combine to win them the Club World Cup? Absolute scenes. I'm sure for the next tournament, they'd probably change the rules so that players are given an extra month when their club qualifies or can leave a contract early, or maybe this would just be an excuse to try and enforce a global transfer window. So, for example, contracts all end in December and there is a January transfer window and then a June-July transfer window as the mid-season transfer window. It would be an interesting spin if it also included managers. Could you imagine a team struggling not being able to get a new manager in until January? That would really make clubs think about who they hire. So, I guess the important thing at this point is, who are the teams? Well, unfortunately, to prevent this episode from turning into a short film, or from it feeling like I'm reading you parts of Ben-Hur, we'll put that in another episode and catch you in the next one. And don't forget, add comments below. Who do you think will be a success in this tournament? I'll catch you in the next one.